What's up, guys? Uncle Luke in the house, and you are live. Somebody let me know in the comments if you can hear me loud and clear. I feel like I'm messing something up tonight. Sorry. We have a bunch of good dudes already in the chat. Mr. Rick Beck from Ohio. I'm not ready for the snow. I'm leaving Saturday morning. Talk about that here in a little while. You gotta love a good Thursday evening with Uncle Luke. Yes, sir. Every Thursday. We've been really consistent on Thursdays, and I'm really enjoying doing this. So I think we're going to keep going, and I think next Thursday we're going to have a really unique one. Catch Now Jay, what's up, man? Oh, we got all kinds of good ones in here. Mr. Brad Goober, loud and clear. Thank you so much, sir. Tampa travel, evening, Uncle Luke from a warm and sunny Florida. It's not warm or sunny here, but we're going to do at least a little bit to remedy that soon. Mr. Jimmy Duff, what's up, man? All right, guys. While we get our introductions, we do have quite a few people in here already. Let's go ahead and start hitting what you book. I'm interested in what you guys have booked, and remember, this is the grown folks live. We're not shooking and jiving. We're not boozing it up and giggling. We're talking about points and miles. What have you booked? And the reason why I like asking you guys is because you guys always book amazing stuff. And on this channel, you're allowed to brag because we all feel good about you killing it. And there's no crazy stuff, no jealous stuff. T.O. Rico, what's up, man? 9 a.m. in Okinawa. Okay. Mr. James Ragland, what's up, man? Rewards Master, what's up, Mr. Rewards Master? What'd you book, Mr. Rewards Master? I know you booked something really good. John says, finally catching you live from California. Share your infinite wisdom. I'll share whatever wisdom I have, man. I don't know how infinite it is. Not sunny here in Florida. It's dark. Yeah, it's 7 o'clock. Okay, Rewards Master, American Airlines through Alaska to Seoul. I like that, man, for $75K. That's big league. I love that. I'm actually going to do some American Airlines soon here. Talk about that in just a second. I didn't book this lately. I think I booked it a long time ago because I think if I was booking it now, I would change it to somewhere a lot warmer. But here in a couple days, I'm going to be headed solo to Spain. Stinky Monkey Baby. Real question we should all be asking: can I pay for my Uncle Luke YouTube membership with Bilt Monopoly Funny Money? I like that. We're going to talk a little bit about Bilt and the latest in the Bilt saga, which is the information on Bilt Cash. And you guys are going to be surprised. I'm optimistic about Bilt, and I'm positive about Bilt. And I know a lot of people aren't. And we're not going to spend the whole time on it. Tonight we're going to do 60 minutes and we're done. The reason for that is, like I said, I'm leaving and I'm going solo. So I got to spend as much time with my wife and kids as possible. And at 8 o'clock, we're starting season 3 of Stranger Things. So going to end everything at 8 o'clock. So 60 minutes where we get a whole bunch of good information out there. As far as Bilt, I'm going to tell you what I think about it. We're not going to deep dive into it. We're not going to go in depth on it, but I'm going to tell you why I am positive about my Bilt position for 2026. OTO booked the IHG anniversary certificate at the Intercontinental Madrid. I'm going to Madrid here very, very soon. Actually got to start packing pretty soon. So it's not going to be warm and sunny. It's actually going to be like 48 degrees and rainy, but it's better than 8 feet of snow, I guess. And I'm doing the Hilton Curio, the Hotel Montero, at least for a couple of days. Yes, sir. Yes, Mr. Jonah, another live. I just want to hear what I want some things where people booked. And then we're going to get into a couple other things. We're going to rapid fire a lot of this stuff. 60 minutes, we're out. But I definitely want to hear, you see a summit card in my future. Oh, Rewards Master. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, relax. I have all my 2026 trips planned, but I'll just say I just booked my first to the Maldives. Wow, big league. You're the same as me, man. I like to get them all booked as soon as I can. And I'm really thinking about planning my 2027 solo trip. And right now, what's really top of the charts as far as what I'm interested in doing, I want to do Santiago, Chile next January. Who's in? Who wants to meet me down there? Let me see here. I got all off track here. I definitely, okay. Brad booked LA to London on Virgin A350 with 2 people, 94,000 points. That's awesome, man. I so want to fly Virgin because of the costumes and the accents. You know, and that's really why. Estine booked my Hilton Aspire free night at Marco Island Hilton Resort. Nice move. And got upgraded to a suite. Very high level move, sir. Nice work. Favorite new Bilt card. Listen, I got approved for the Palladium, but after listening to this Bilt Cash stuff, man, that Obsidian card, the $95 card, folks are sleeping on it. That is, if you're pairing Bilt with Chase, if you're able to get 4x Bilt on groceries up to $25K a year, that is money. I really like that Obsidian card. John's doing San Fran to Tokyo, then Osaka, 60,000 miles on JAL. Money, man. Awesome. Hotels in Shinjuku and Osaka all covered by. You are living the life, John. You're doing it right, buddy. For sure. Can't believe you canceled the. I haven't canceled it yet. That's my plans. We're going to let it ride till April when the annual fee comes. And here's the thing. It's gone. It's essentially gone from my wallet right now. Nothing's written in stone tablets, guys. If they give me a retention offer, probably going to keep it. But for all intents and purposes, right now it's done. It's on the chopping block. Am I going to Palma de Mallorca? No. I don't even know what it's like in January in Mallorca. But I did go there in the Navy, so I think I'm too old to go there now. Mostly free travel. What's up? Faroe Islands trip. Wow, that's interesting. Late June. Iceland Air through Alaska. That's super interesting, XD Fire Guy. That's very, very interesting. I have a room held through Hilton and on the only chain property. Man, that's Shetland Islands is super, super interesting. You got to take a boat there. I think you have to take a ferry, right? Emirates to Milan for 87 business class. Yeah, I just, man, I know everybody says, well, Lake Como. I don't want to fly to Milan. I don't want to visit Milan. We have awesome lakes here. Go to Montana. Getting slammed with snow in Indy tomorrow. Ugh. Hope to book Tulum. So yeah, Tulum is sweet. That'll dry you out from all that snow, man. Robert booked a cruise. We don't talk about cruises a lot, but that's good work, man. I like that. Uncle, have you heard about VentureX opening a lounge and shit? Yeah, it's supposed to. Who knows when it's going to be done? But the only thing is about opening a lounge in Charlotte is, if you fly a lot of American Airlines, you know they're infamous for those tight connections. Whenever I connect in Charlotte, it's like 40 minutes. I'm usually jogging and I don't jog. Memphis Mike, another Seafire getaway for Valentine. Man, the Kimpton Seafire, they should be sending me checks, residuals. But it is such a great trip. And here's the thing. If the question is Seafire Kimpton, then the answer is always when. It's always a good time to go there. Matt booked JAL A350, Dallas to Haneda. I like your style. Wish I had done more of my Capital Mile miles when there was a bonus. Yeah, I mean, Dan says Kimpton and Amsterdam. Now, where that? I didn't stay at that Kimpton. I booked it. I changed it to like a Max Brown hotel or whatever, but the location of that hotel is really, really cool. I think you're going to like it. I can't wait to hear about it. Your new Bilt card will make your Robinhood Gold obsolete. Yeah, you're probably right, but do we think the Robinhood Gold card is going to last forever? And I don't mind having Robinhood Gold because I'm now printing money with my Roth IRA. It gets a 3% bonus. And I think at the end of the year, it'll be $265 they give me to contribute to a Roth IRA. And I also sprinkle in cash back, so it'll still get used. If you do Buenos Aires, I'm in, Luke. My wife wants to go there, and I've thought about it. So still on the list. Holly booked Helsinki to Cape Town. Wow, 55,000 AA in business class. First segment is Finnair, and then Qatar. Man, she's all over the place, man. Helsinki to Cape Town. Those are two really cool places. Like you guys make me jealous and excited and all at the same time. We can Maui, nice move, man. You can never go wrong with that. 4.3 cents with a Hyatt. That is big league, man. That's awesome. Does Seats.Aero show all airlines, or is it better? I use Seats.Aero. They do not show all airlines. There's also Points.me. I think you can get if you have two. And here's the thing: if you're just getting it for a monthly service, I don't think it's a bad idea to get both of them, just to get those trips booked, and then not renew your membership. But I use Seats.Aero primarily, and it does not include everything. Toronto to Santiago, Air Canada is nice. It's nice direct flight. That's an easy one for me because Toronto is like an hour and a half. Tom out of LAX has a stopover in Peru. Did Peru last year. Loved it. Yeah, everybody else has got a connection. I think out of all those, I don't know. Maybe Houston. I had bad luck last time in Houston. I'd like to give them a chance to clear it up. What's up, Juan? Without wasting much time, almost no YouTubers talk about Robinhood Gold Card. Isn't it one of the best, most simple? No, it's here. I'm on the wait list. I was never on the wait list. I'm sorry. Let me get this out. I was never on the wait list. I got it through Credit Karma. And yes, you're right. Cashback must not be as sexy as really complicated point systems, because the Robinhood Gold Card, you can kill the game with just the Robinhood Gold Card, 100%. But then the argument is always going to be, well, Luke, I can get 7 or 8 different 5% cashback, no annual fee cards. Why do I need the Robinhood card? And that's a valid argument. That $95 Bilt card, maybe what's up. Listen, man, we're going to talk about the Bilt Cash a little bit. And I'm not going to get super in depth in it because that's not what my brain does. My brain takes my personal number and breaks it down in the simplest way. And I'm going to tell you what that is for me. And all that other noise about this, that, and the other, I'm not hearing it. That Bilt card is money. Invested ASAP into the S&P 500 has to be the best point system ever. I ain't gonna lie, man. That is. Especially like when you're young, you might not think about it much, but when you hit my age, you obsess over retirement and money for retirement. So don't really need to play catch up, but I'm still kind of thinking about playing catch up. Bilt Cash is like Bilt Trash, which is a card built like trash. Yeah, I disagree, man. And we'll talk about it a little bit, and you still might not agree, but I'm going to tell you how I'm going to use mine now that we know what Bilt Cash will do, and see if that changes your mind a little bit. Oh, Dem just got back from Tulum. Oh, Charles was refunded some in a Venture X downgrade. That's interesting if they're doing that now. That's awesome. Maybe you can talk about 3X on the bill. Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit about that. On 25% spend. Yeah, we're going to talk about. I'm going to tell you exactly what I got 2 mortgages and the numbers that make sense for me. Did I miss? What'd you book, Chad? Let's hear it, man. We want to know. Rome was also good to get airlines at Seats.Aero. Okay. Mrs. like Catholic. Yeah. They're not all going to have all of them. So you kind of got to see which programs you might use more often. Chad, what'd you book, buddy? Madrid's awesome. Such an amazing city. Yeah, I've never been to Madrid. I went to Spain a lot when I was in the Navy 28, 30 years ago. Great restaurant. I'm going to eat. I'm going to drink sangria, and I'm going to people watch. I'm going to work on YouTube stuff, which sounds so. I guess that sounds corny and nerdy, but it's going to be fun. Houston kept me at security for 40 minutes because his daughter had a bear with beads. Yeah, man. God, I feel for you. That sucks, man. Chad's got the Robinhood Gold. It's awesome. Never leaving it stable. Yeah, and unless they do something with it, it's I think it's super underrated. It might be the best. It might be the most underrated card right now. Kyle's a Bilt defender. 4% cash kills the whole point, especially when the Bilt Cash can only cover $100. Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about that. The way I'm going to use it, I'm not really worried about having any left over. Houston to Santiago before continuing on to Cordova. Okay, yeah, that Houston to Santiago might be my preferred. Dem likes Madrid to Barcelona. Yeah, they're almost like two different countries. All right, let me see here. At your age, are you? I just, yeah, I didn't just turn 30. I don't. If you're talking to me, I'm 3.5 years away from retirement. And I know everybody's situation is different, but my personal situation is 3.5 years. Never going to stop working. Never going to stop doing stuff. But my actual retirement date is 3.5 years. 41 months, I think. Not that I'm counting. Hey, what's up, Polo? Curious if you'd be waiting to pay your mortgage until no, I'm not going to wait. No, I'll if I'm even going to pay it with the Bilt card, it'll be March 1st. I won't wait on that. Chad's got DC booked in a Boga Delta flight. Nice. The buy one, get one. Stay at the Park Hyatt. Nice, man. For the weekend, and then Etihad first to Abu Dhabi. Nice, man. You're liking the Middle Eastern stuff, man. That's awesome. I'm going to be in DC this spring break. I can't wait. My little boy wants to go. Caught hell for the Robinhood card video because I dare to be honest. Yeah, and here's the thing, man. It's one of the two things I've learned about the YouTube world is trending opinions are popular, even if they're not correct. And cashback is boring to a lot of people. But I'm telling you right now, when I'm listen, Chad will get this. When I'm sitting at a tapas restaurant, drinking what do you call it, sangria, and eating paella, and doing it, that cashback I'm using to spend that money is not going to be overrated. Not going to be underrated. Whatever. It's going to be rated. You need money to do the fun stuff. Sorry if that doesn't make sense, but guys, we got 183 people in the chat. Slap that like button for me, and we'll get a couple more of these chats, and then we're going to get into some Bilt stuff because I don't want to do the whole thing about Bilt. Jordan rules for credit, my man. I'll tell you what, having a high rent at $3,100 will I'll never be carrying over Bilt Cash. I tell you what, man, if my rent was $3,100, I wouldn't be able to eat. We'll hardly have enough to cover half my rent. High rent, average spenders get hurt the most by Bilt to a point. Yeah, and my mortgages are really low, and we'll talk about that. Mr. Gentleman Explorer just gifted 5 memberships. This is the best time to plug the membership, guys. I do offer memberships at $2.99 a month. What does membership get you? Membership gets you priority replies. At some point very soon, I will not be able to reply to everybody's comments on my videos. And I do members only videos on a lot of weekends. These videos are 5 to 7 minutes, straight to the point. They're straight talk. They're not scripted. They're about things that will not go public for me, like higher level techniques. I don't want to call them hacks because I don't believe in that word, but higher level techniques, maybe some smack talk, maybe some personal stuff. But people seem to like the members only videos. And for $2.99 a month, you can have access to those. You can join the membership for 1 month, binge watch all the videos and cancel. I don't mind. So that's my plug. That's today's sponsor. Video sponsor is Luke's Points and Miles channel memberships. Got to do Abu Dhabi to get my hands on the residence. Yeah, awesome. I can't wait to hear about it, man. For sure. Does AA as a transfer partner boost up Bilt on a Palladium? AA is not a transfer partner for Bilt, so no. But AA as a transfer partner is pretty awesome. City has it. What's up, Choco Fernandez? Mr. Fernandez. Yeah, boss. Jordan, I used to live in Newport, Rhode Island, so I know a little bit about the East Coast rent and mortgage. Oh, Jordan got a membership. Nice move, man. If there's one thing that this Bilt refresh taught me, appreciate what you got. I already had access to the transfer partner that I needed. That's awesome. All right, so got through that. I want to get through. Thank you for your What's Your Book. You guys are awesome. Okay, there's two. I want to see if I remember these 2 things. There's 2 things before we get into the Bilt. Number one, I want everybody to stop what they're doing and pay attention real quick. This is the number one thing we have to realize before we start talking about Bilt 2.0. There is no more Bilt 1.0. It's never coming back. It never should have been. It didn't work. So I don't want to hear, well, I used to be able to do that. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. It doesn't exist anymore. We have Bilt 2.0, and there's not another version of Bilt you can compare it to because it's never coming back. Wells Fargo gave you points they kind of got duped, really. I mean, they got a bad deal. But one thing they did was they took all these guys that hated on Wells Fargo and talked all kinds of smack about them. They weren't that mad at Wells Fargo to not have a Wells Fargo card when Bilt was there. So if they give you free stuff, you're okay with them. Whatever. And the second thing, I don't know if I can remember it. I can't remember what it is. The second thing, if I remember it, I'll talk about it. I can't remember. Two things before Bilt. There's no Bilt 1.0. Let me see. I can't get the okay. There's no Bilt 1.0, and we'll see. Let's talk about Bilt Cash, guys. I don't normally like that. We're not going to go super in depth in this, but I will. Let me see if I can show screen here. Oh, there we go. See if I can make this bigger. Nope. All right. So I don't know how big that is on your screen, but we'll go over some of the things that are on here. Bilt Cash. All three of these Bilt cards are going to earn 4% in Bilt Cash. Now, obviously, you guys know the options, and with rent, you can totally disregard and not earn Bilt Cash. There are situations and scenarios where that might make sense for you, but let's talk a little bit about Bilt Cash, and let's not give out all the negative things and talk about how much we hate it. Let's really look at it. Groceries and restaurant delivery with Grubhub. Listen, the $10 a month, we all hate it. If you can use it, you can use it. That's great. This $60 for Bilt home delivery. I never even heard of home delivery, so I don't care about that. GoPuff, no. $300 a year with the restaurant credit. If you're eating at Bilt restaurants, and some of you guys live in places where there's a ton of Bilt restaurants, that's going to be an easy win for you. That's going to be a pretty easy if you have Bilt Cash left over. Dining experience bookings. I'm not even looking at that because I don't think I'll ever want one of those. Here's where things get really, really interesting, I think. Now, before I get into this, I want to tell you about my personal numbers because this is important because you don't have the same numbers. This might not make any sense to you. I have two mortgages, and you guys are going to laugh. My two mortgages are $1,000 total. Now, I separate the taxes and the insurance. So it's just principal and interest, but they're two very small mortgages. Okay, so if you're scoring at home, that's $1,000 on the first of the month. That means I'm only going to have to earn $30 in Bilt Cash to redeem those points with the Bilt Cash redemption option. Oh, listen, guys, I'm sorry. The other thing about Bilt, never mind. All right, we're having a bad day. So, I'm sorry. Okay, forget it. When you get older, you'll understand. My numbers: $1,000 in mortgages. That means I need $30 in Bilt Cash to get those points. With the Palladium card, they're going to give me, just for getting the card, almost enough Bilt Cash to earn Bilt points on my mortgage for the entire year, right? That's insane. So for me, I know it's not for you guys, but for me, Bilt is giving me enough Bilt Cash in this first year to turn my card into the 3.3. Let's just call it a 3X catch-all card for a decent amount of spend. The numbers change when the spend gets higher, but for me, what I want to use my Bilt Cash for is this points accelerator on everyday spend. What this does is, and this is funny because upon getting the card, Bilt is going to give me enough Bilt Cash that I can pay $200 in Bilt Cash and receive an extra point for $5,000 in spend. Now, all you math nerds out there are going to say, that doesn't make sense math-wise. You're not going to pay $30 for an extra point. I get what you're saying, but I'm also trying to cut through all this confusion and all this smoke about all these silly credits and a lot of the stuff that I'll never use. What I will use is an extra point. And guys, we just talked about how badass the Robinhood Gold Card is, 3% on with cashback. How about 3x transferable currencies? Let me add, they're arguably the best currency, 3x catch-all, 3x on everything. I don't know how much I would use any other cards if I was getting 3x on Bilt. Now, I can start doing that the day I get the card. I can take $200 Bilt Cash and start doing that. After spending $5,000 on the card, I'm going to earn enough Bilt Cash to again cycle that. And I can cycle it 5 times. Okay. So basically, the Bilt Cash I earn is more than enough to cover my points redemptions and give me 5 cycles of an extra point per dollar spent. I know not everybody can do that. I know that doesn't make. What do you mean, JP? What it's these are just my numbers. I was born 30 years. No, it's not that. Those are not purchase price mortgages. This is a home I've lived in for 18 years, and when I refinanced it, I did not take out equity. So I paid a home down for 18 years and then just refinanced the balance. That's why my mortgages are so low. Can you tell me how often you'll be transferring points from Bilt to their transfer partners? I don't know. I see what you're saying. I don't live in fear like that. So if I need to transfer them, I'll transfer them. Jordan says, I ran the scenarios. It seems like if you can spend 75% of your rent amount or more on the Palladium, it's best to opt for the Bilt Cash and maximize the points accelerator. And here's the thing. The points accelerator and paying the Bilt Cash to redeem your points, it kind of takes all the judgment and all the negativity out of it because you're not looking at Grubhub. You're not looking at helicopter rides. It takes all the kind of the noise out of it, and it makes it pretty easy. Now, the other question is going to be, does that make the card worth $495? That's a separate issue. And here's the thing that nobody in this credit card game wants to hear. It doesn't matter for me. I'll pay $500 for this card. I know I'm going to get some value from the hotel credit. I know I'm going to get some value from the Bilt Cash. I don't care. I don't have to make that annual fee zero. I'm not pinching pennies. I don't get a big joy of being negative annual fees. That does matter overall, but I think it matters a lot less if you're earning exponentially more points in the best currency you can earn. And with a $400 hotel credit, let me speak on that real quick too. Anybody who says they can't use that because they still have to purchase something, we're not in the same game. I travel. If I had no points if these points did not exist, your Uncle Luke's still traveling and still paying for it. So if I get $200 off a hotel stay, I'm not going to complain and say it wasn't the whole thing. I don't care if it's the whole thing. It's $200. And it's pretty easy to value that at a full $200 unless you're getting a raw deal with the price. Yeah. See, and here's the thing, Dem. Nobody will understand because you have a generation of people who have been taught and kind of pounded in their brain that they can't get a mortgage. that they're going to rent for the rest of their lives, and it's too expensive, and they're destined to never be financially free. It's not true. Nobody wants to buy that starter house. Nobody. I see 21-year-old dudes looking at $400,000 houses when they make 40 grand, and they get discouraged. What's up, Tyler? Great card for high spend. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I don't high spenders with low mortgages. A lot of mortgages around 2020 or before you could have refinanced it. Yeah, and that's and I have a 2.5% mortgage, and everybody did that, and everybody should have. But it also kind of ties us to the house right now. Nobody wants to sell a house with a 2.5% mortgage to go buy a house with a 6.5% mortgage that costs twice as much. Yeah, you're going. And here's the thing: when you talk about cycling that $5,000, you're going to maintain your status. You're going to get extra Bilt Cash. It has residual effects from doing that. And at the end of the day, guys, we have a game and a community full of dudes who don't spend any money, and that's awesome. That's great. But if you have a family and you're living life, you're going to spend a lot more money than some people. So spending $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 on a catch-all in a month is not outside the realm of normal for me. Bilt appears to be a value trap for many. They'd be better off paying rent or mortgage for free and then direct any free cash flow to debt. Yeah, you're not wrong. If you have debt, then we're getting in a. Here's the thing. The value trap is this entire game we're playing. Should I be going to Europe in January by myself, drinking sangria and no, value-wise, I should be putting that money in a Roth IRA or my son's 529. That's not really why we're here playing this game. We're playing this game so we can go do things we otherwise might not be able to afford to do. Bilt's complicated, encourages you to spend. Yeah, we're also talking. Take the Bilt out of that. This credit card game is complicated, and it encourages you to spend. None of these guys. Listen. 98% of these guys that get subs every month would otherwise be spending that money. And they won't admit it, but it's true. So what you're saying about Bilt is true for this credit card game for a lot of people. Yeah, damn, it's capped at $25,000 a year, so 5 cycles of it. And for a lot of people, that's all they're going to need for the whole year. And here's what do you get for 5 cycles of that? 25,000. You're getting 75,000 Bilt points on your spend. It's not bad. You're also going to get status or maintain status. Yeah, Matt, you can stack the Bilt Cash and the $300 and the $200 credit. So there are options there. I guess what I'm saying is, if we isolate the Bilt Cash, I think what I'm going to do makes a lot more sense than trying to spread it around to $5 and $10 increments. Yeah, Kevin, you have to get that. Yeah, you got to spend to get the status, and I don't think that's not fair. 3x on all spend with no foreign transaction fee has the Palladium card rivaling the Summer card. Rivaling? Wait, hold on. No. Listen, I know Atmos points are super popular right now, but 3x Bilt points has to be considered more valuable than 3x Atmos points. Because I got news for you. A lot of the award availability I go and see on Atmos, it's phantom award availability. It doesn't exist. It's also a great program. It's probably not going to be as great in a year, and it's probably not anywhere near as great for anybody on the East Coast. All these guys on the East Coast that are all about Atmos, they're probably not getting as much value as you West Coasters and you Pacific Northwesters. We need a what's in your wallet video when you add the Bilt card. Yeah, I mean, I'll probably wait till next quarter. But I do have something special coming out Saturday. I spend around $1,000 a month. What do you think is the best thing for me to do with this card? I see that those are. I know a lot of credit card YouTubers want to answer that question for you, but it's not something I can answer without a ton more information. If you spend $1,000 a month, if you have a $1,250 mortgage, I would do the Bilt Cash option. Probably do the Bilt Cash option no matter what. Palladium Domestic Summit Abroad. That hurts my head. If it's 3x, it's 3x, no matter where my fee are. So can't agree with that. Tony Buyer has a more normal mortgage, and I feel for you, but you probably have a really nice house too. So, and it's probably hard for you to spend $3,000 on catch-all spend. Damn, are you going to run dining and groceries through it now? No. And if you want to know more about that, watch my video on Saturday. But I'm going to run a lot through it. I'm going to run a lot of spend through this Palladium card, at least for this year. Venture X for personal, Bilt 2.0 for business. I only have to spend half of what I put on the Blue Business Plus to get a bump. Okay. Yeah, and here's the thing. Oh, you know what? Let's go back here, guys. The other thing was this program is not anywhere near as complicated or confusing as you're being told every single day on YouTube. Now, listen, I don't have a Bilt link. I'm not sponsored. I don't get paid by Bilt. I've never covered the Bilt program before the last couple of weeks. So I'm not, I didn't get flown out to anywhere to get wined and dined by Bilt. I have nothing to do with Bilt. But this program is not complicated or confusing as long as you have your numbers and you're looking at from your own perspective and not everybody else on the internet. My situation is really simple. $1,000 in mortgages. I only need $30 in Bilt Cash to get points for that. And it just so happens there is another option for the rest of that Bilt Cash. That's really simple. Might not make total math sense to everybody, but I want to earn 3x. Now, you also have hotel credits. You can unlock higher transfer bonuses, and that might make sense very rarely, I think. If you want to go to a certain place and you know you need this ecosystem of points or miles and they go on sale and you want to spend Bilt Cash to get a jump in the transfer bonus, that should make sense. But it's probably going to be very rare. The Lyft ride share, see all these $10, $5 stuff, not interested in it. The helicopter rides, listen, you guys want to know what I think about helicopter rides? I once spent about 8 hours standing around a forecastle of a warship looking for helmets from the guys who crashed helicopters. And you're going to say, why are you looking for helmets? Because the helmets float. So the helmets will have a head in them and they can go home and get buried with their family. So that's what helicopters do. Your Uncle Luke will not be getting in a helicopter for any reason. Not going to do it. I saw so many of them jokers crash. Can you stack the point accelerator spend on the initial spend and try to max out the? See, I don't know anything about the TPG bonus. I used Anthony Venture's link because that's who I saw the information from first. I would not support TPG, but that's just me. Luke, you're my favorite creator on YouTube in the points and miles world. These hoops don't make sense. I disagree. Explain to me how they don't make sense. And the original Bilt card, rule number 1, it doesn't exist anymore. There's no comparing a program that doesn't exist anymore. The original Bilt program gifted you points. They're not doing that anymore. I understand what you're saying. I understand you don't like it. You also live on the West Coast and have probably way higher rent than I do. For my scenario, my situation, tell me why it doesn't make sense. Tell me how I can do better with any card. I've got 50 cards. Nothing does better than this as a catch-all. And keep in mind, my catch-all expenses every year are probably at least 50 grand. And I don't want to get a bunch of new cards this year. So tell me what I'm overlooking. Tell me what I could do better, because earning points on my mortgages and earning 3x on a catch-all and not doing hardly any work with it. It's not confusing and it's not all that. It's really easy work. Looking forward to my free autograph card. Big difference between Bilt's complexities and United or One World or Capital One. Yeah, man. You know what else? Cap or United is way more complex than the Robinhood Gold Card. Probably not as profitable either. It's. But what I'm saying is, let's keep it real, guys. This is a hobby full of nerds. We're all nerds. If you think this is too complicated for you to work, maybe go. Maybe you need. It's not. It's not too complicated for anybody playing this game. If it's something you don't want to do, I understand completely. But my scenario, let's go over it again. I spend $1,000 in mortgages. The Bilt Palladium card will already give me more than enough Bilt Cash to be able to redeem my yearly mortgage in points. On top of that, I will spend enough to continue to purchase 5 cycles of that points boost. I don't know how I'm going to do better than that with other cards. And I don't know how someone can blanket that whole thing and say, oh, that's garbage, no good. Everybody loves the Atmos Summit. And you're right, it's great, but you would also have to convince me to take, I don't know what the Atmos Summit bonus is, but 80,000 Atmos points and 50,000 Bilt points. That's a pretty broad, that's a pretty big gap, but probably not as big of a gap for a lot of people that can't use Atmos points for a lot of stuff. So are the cards any good if you don't have a mortgage or pay rent? I think so, but a lot of people don't. The alternative is we're not going to go over the alternative because it's just spend to earn your points. And like I said, I don't want to do a deep dive and I don't want to go totally into it. I do wish all you Bilt boys and girls happy hacking though. Yeah, and there's going to be opportunities for that in the first year. But you have a 180 turn on your opinion. I'm not sure what you mean by that. You mean the first time I talked about the Bilt program with the information we had, I thought it was garbage. When I got the new information and applied it to my personal scenario, I think it makes a lot of sense for me. Sammy lifting them weights. I wonder if they'll let us stack the 1.25x on rent with the extra. I don't know because it says extra on everyday spend. It's pretty clear they have that designated as your everyday spend, not your rent or mortgage. What's up, Christian? People have a herd mentality. They hear it's complicated. And that's the thing, man. People came out and dogged it so bad. And I've seen in the credit card world a million times. There's no way Alaska miles or Atmos points are benefiting as many people as popular it is. It's not. And I know how to use Alaska miles. I know not everybody's doing that. Jonathan says you're speaking nothing but facts, Uncle Luke. Everybody is looking for a reason to down this card because everyone. You're right, and it is complicated for some people because if you can't, let me go back and look at this stuff. If you threw all this black lane ride, attack one helicopter ride, oh, I get 768 for more priority pass parking. If you look at all that stuff, it looks super overwhelming. $110 a month at Grubhub. No. If you can find a couple different things that you can use, it doesn't seem all that complicated to me. Now, if I have Bilt Cash, left over, I don't think I will. But if I do, there's a couple little things I might do. $1,000 for 2 mortgages. My goodness, I'm jealous. Here's the thing. I'm old. You guys forget I'm old. I've paid down mortgages for a lot of years, refinanced them at 2.5%. And not taking any equity out. So most people would take out $100,000 or $200,000 in equity and invest it or do home repairs. I've never done that. So trust me, I'd like to have a couple $100,000 laying around that I could play with, but I don't. Can you run both the accelerator and the mortgage? Yeah, there's 2 different things. Thinking at some point with enough Bilt Cash, that could be doable for a bit to a certain. Here's the thing: if your mortgage is small like me, it's easy. Like I need $360 in Bilt Cash to run the mortgage for the entire year. $360 in Bilt Cash for the entire year, and they give you $300 for the bonus, and they give you 200 every year. Just give it to you. So really easy. What else can generate so many Bilt points that are top tier? Plenty, yeah, and I think a lot of people, if you said that Bilt points are only a little bit better than the rest of them, I get it. But if I'm spending my money, why am I earning venture miles if I can earn Bilt points? It's just it's one of those very small degrees of separation that makes a big deal after a while. You need to do a new if you only had 3 or 4 cards, what would they be and why? How about just 2 cards? What's up, Chris? Yeah, and I think I explained that. With the information we had at the time of making that video, it did not make any sense at all for me. It was complicated. It was overwhelming. But when you're presented with the rest of the information, and let me ask you this, Drex, if you only had 35% of the information and you talked about it, then you received 100% of the information, you think your opinion might change a little bit? Because if it doesn't, you're not digesting the information. Travis, I saw your videos the other day. I like your stuff. I like your if you guys have not seen Travis's travels, Travis White, check his channel out. I really like the way he puts his opinion out there unapologetically. I like it. Yeah, it's right. It doesn't hurt your brain. But as soon as somebody came out and said that, it was wildly popular to just parrot that. This is stupid. It hurts my it's too much. And you're talking about guys who buy Visa gift cards to get 5x on this, to put that on this, to transfer it to a partner X to fly airline Y to go to another country that they don't speak the language. That's complicated. This is an easy system once you look your numbers and your situation. Thankfully, I own, but 25K with 3x is still a good thing for those not renting a mortgage. Yeah, the built company itself with their jokes and lack of seriousness kind of yeah. I'm not gonna say anything positive about the built company. I never have. Marine life taught me better. Love my Marines. Yeah, Polo lives in Boston. Need that JP versus Luke live. Yeah, let's do it. I don't my next live is going to be live from Madrid. So I don't know if we can do it then, but Tony Buyer loves the card. And here's the thing, it could completely work for you, Tony, and for somebody else, it might be like either somebody else might not want to do the research and do the calculations for themselves, or they might do it and it does not work. Like Jordan said, if you got $3,100 rent or you've got a $4,000 mortgage, it might never, ever make sense to spend enough to earn on that. And then you're talking about a $500 2x catch-all card. And if you can't use those credits or it's not your style, it won't make any sense. But yeah, Rico says it's not. It's just not. Just use the point accelerator. The credits are garbage. Yeah, in the accelerator, you know you're getting tangible value. Think you can get more points for extra principal payments? I don't know. It's a good question. I don't know why not. If you're just paying with an ACH, Sinfulton's on Team JP. Oh, I don't know. I don't know what the bomb was. Except he just generally called it garbage. And that's what we're dealing with a lot in the credit card game is, no explanation, just it's garbage. Now I know JP. I'm not saying you. I know JP's got a million reasons why it doesn't work for him. JP's an OG in this game. I know he knows what he's doing. Uncle Luke's not lying about helicopters. I was in the army in Afghanistan and watched them fly. Yeah, they do. That's what they do. Tony's going to put all his spend on this card. Yeah, and that's a lot of people say you're crazy because they want a more complicated system. So I rode and jumped from helicopters and a lot in the past. Army Airborne. New again. Were you 82nd or 101st? I'm curious because my dad was 101st, and I'm into that stuff. Pretty cool. No more whirly birds for you. Yeah, I understand. Are you in the Joe Burrow Discord? Okay. The card is trash, but not trash is trash. Okay. Here's the thing. Everybody that's saying these cards are trash are, the best you're going to do is to take those same business class flights and stay in the same high-end hotels. You're not going to do any better than that. Would you still do that if you had a 2 or 3? Yeah, and here's the thing. If I had a $3,000 mortgage, I gotta start over. Probably don't mess with it. Probably don't even bother with it. Probably not talking about it or even looking at it. And I don't think I would. If it wasn't for getting a little bit of extra points on the mortgages, I think I would do better somewhere else. Holy smokes! I gotta. Oh, where are you at here? I can't. All right. Mr. MJ Tastic, Uncle, my travel points hero. I'm excited for Bilt 2.0. It works for him. Media backlash was due to because Bilt brand changed. 100%, man. You're right. The initial vague details, they took a dump on the launch for sure. Now that the dust is settled, I think this will be a top tier card. I agree, MJ. MJ hit us with a 50-piece super chat. Man, that's probably the biggest one I've ever gotten, and I super appreciate it. And I got to get down to my man here. The Stan, the credit fraud. Haven't talked to you in a while, man. Miss you. I agree. The Bilt Palladium is a simple card. There's just a lot. Oh my, Stan, I did not think you would agree with me. I'm really happy about that. Just use Bilt Cash for the points accelerator. Unlock your mortgage points. Other Bilt Cash options to make a call. And there's a lot of smoke and mirrors with the extra other stuff. And again, what's up, Stan? Hit us with a 20-piece. Super appreciate it, sir. And I need to get you on the channel real soon. Or not real soon, but soon. Autograph is better for 95% of people compared. Yeah, man, here's the thing, JP. We're not talking about 95% of people. 95% of people would be better off with the City Double Cash. We're not that 95%, man. And I know you're not rocking the autograph card by itself. Everybody sees Stan. Woo! Would taxes insurance be included in the mortgage payment if you have? Yeah, they would. I don't do that because before this, I was paying my insurance and taxes separately, and I was doing that with some advanced level techniques that I've talked about in the members videos. Everybody's looking for the credit frog, baby. All right, guys, we got like 6 minutes. I told you we're doing 60 minutes, and I got to go down and start the new episode of Stranger Things with the boy. My beloved Texans lost this past weekend because of my Buckeye, CJ Stroud. Who you have going to the Super Bowl? I think we have to look at Seahawks and Patriots. And I think that makes sense. I think it's a new Seahawks and a new Patriots. I think it's interesting. I'm for it. I'm here for the beer. And I didn't like the Patriots before, but I can't hate on whatever the coach is. The coach is a Buckeye. Mike Vrabel. He's a Buckeye. He's a couple years older than me, so he's of that kind of the same generation. I wish him well. I hope he does really, really good. I'm still going for the Seahawks. You know why? Because I want Sam Darnold to stick it up their butts. All those teams that left him for dead. I want Sam Darnold to win a Super Bowl. All right, guys. Oh, 82nd. Yep, real pair. Now, here's the thing, New again. You're right. But back in the day, the 101st were real paratroopers, right? I don't know when they stopped that, but like when my dad was in it, they were all airborne and all that good stuff. I think at some point they just all went air assault, but I'm not an Army guy. I'm a Navy guy. Super cool what you guys do. Appreciate your service 100%. And I figured you might be a veteran with all your negative posts, with all your veteran-like talk. but I'm down. I don't think the 95% are watching these videos. We're all 100%, man. Rakuten card, Rakuten, and Palladium all to Bilt. 100%, my man. We are like this. I got 60,000 Rakuten points going to Bilt in February. So I think there's a lot of little things that add up, and you can still keep it fairly simple. Transfer to Bilt Spirit, baby. That's not I mean, if it gets you to Vegas, it gets you to Fort Lauderdale, ride them Spirits. Do you think the refresh could have been done through Wells Fargo instead of I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and be one of these YouTubers that can pretend like I know the banking system. I know these business relationships. I don't think I don't know. It's almost like, yeah, I don't want to speculate. I just know that relationship was not good for Wells, but maybe it got maybe in the long run with all these Wells Fargo autograph cards, they'll get a boost in the credit card game. Meant no shade to those in 101st before they turned in their pair. Yeah, okay. So it was my dad was 75 to 77, I think, and they were still airborne. They still jumped and all that good stuff. We can agree on the Pats. I lived in New England for a couple years, and the reason why I don't like the Patriots as much as I could is my brother was stationed with me in Rhode Island, and he converted to being a Patriots fan, and I took offense to that. But whatever. He lived there for like 5 years. I can understand. For finally speaking facts, Bilt's a great card, even for someone like myself. Now, listen, here's the thing. I'm almost done. There we go. My favorite live deal. We're going to get Stanley on here soon. Here's what I want to say before we get off here, guys. The Obsidian card. Take that same scenario I talked about. I'm going to have a little bit less Bilt Cash to play with because I'm not getting the same bonus and the same yearly thing. But 4x on groceries, and let's put this in a Chase system. Our biggest gripe with Chase is what? No gas, no groceries. I don't personally care about gas. 4x on groceries up to 25K. Not saying this is a huge part of your system or your setup, but 4x on groceries, 3x on travel. Not a bad supplement card if you're running a Chase setup. And I think Chase's ecosystem or their transfer partners kind of complement Bilt's a lot. They have a lot of overlap. Hey, he's not Trent Dilfer, man. Sam Darnold's slinging it. Sammy Darnold, Super Bowl MVP. Sammy Darnold. Bilt's probably going to Credit One as their new card issuer, and I don't doubt it. Some might get some value with the new cards, but I wouldn't recommend their new cards to anyone. Yeah, I'm not recommending them to anyone, but I know for me, I'm going to smoke the game with this Bilt card. What's up, Mr. Dong Kim? All right, guys. 8 o'clock. Let me move this thing. My son is down there waiting on me. Oh, Mr. St. Patrick hit us up at the very end. I don't understand all the hate. Car's not for, yeah. Well, we're tribal. We're teams. And we get mad at everybody else that doesn't think about us. Mr. St. Patrick's Day hit us with the 5 spot. Appreciate you guys. It's 8 o'clock. I have to get off here. Get down there to the boy. Got a video coming out Saturday. Might be interesting. My next live will be live from Spain. Stay tuned. That one will probably go on longer because of the time change. I can stay up later. So, guys, thank you so much for tuning in tonight. Oh, still 2 years, man. That program's gone in 2 years. All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Check my video out Saturday. Thank you all.